Brazil's goal, replaced by Graciel Garcia. An early break forward then for Peru. Here's Cueva. Cueva and Garcia, the substitute, combining. Cueva still going and manages to find it out onto the left for the substitute. Head comes in and it's defended well enough by Brazil. Once again, Gianluca Lapadula, the only real target for Peru in the penalty area. They probably showed more there in that opening 90 seconds of this half than they did in the entire first 45 minutes. Marcos Lopez getting forward to put the cross in. Richarlison, Everton looks for the return ball for Richarlison, and Alexander Callens gets back to do enough. Neymar just runs out of space there. It's been another influential game so far for Neymar. He and Lionel Messi, the two poster boys really for South American football, and at times in this year's Copa America have just looked head and shoulders above anyone else on the pitch, just able to do things that no one else can do, and giving Argentina and Brazil an X factor that can win them games. Richarlison, Renan Lodgi, back to Fred, all the way across there to Marquinhos. Marquinhos finds Everton, and Brazil are able to patiently stroke the ball around now. Marquinhos, the long diagonal, finding the chest of Renan Lodgi, looks to work that one into the path of Neymar, and the Peru defence does just enough. Peña, bit of space here for Yotun to run into, and hits a long ball for Lapadula, who'll get there ahead of Thiago Silva. Lapadula works it back onto his left foot, takes the shot, a good save. Ederson called into action for the first time, and Lapadula almost brings Peru back onto level terms. We've seen almost nothing of Peru so far in this game, but Yoshima Yotun eventually releases Gianluca Lapadula, and he's not far away to earning Peru an equaliser. It's a corner then, headed away by Richarlison at the near post. Could that be a signal of life here for the Blanquirroja? Certainly a better start to this second half for Ricardo Gareca's side. The changes have made an immediate impact on the balance of play. They had to take a risk. And just as it did in the group phase, it may end up with Brazil running away with it in this second half, but something had to be done. Renan Lodgi spins away from one and draws a foul from Lapadula. Marcos Lopez intercepts and leaves a bit of space in behind. It's a good bit of covering by Yoshima Yotun. Danilo was ready to burst forward and take advantage of Marcos Lopez's heavy touch. Marcos Lopez can probably consider himself a little unfortunate in this year's Copa America. But he started the tournament as Ricardo Gareca's left back, played the first couple of games, and even in that 4-0 defeat against Brazil, performed pretty well and ended up losing his place to the more recognisable Miguel Trauco. Peru back on the attack again then. Shot comes in and it's off target. Ederson able to watch that one by Raciel Garcia. And that was the earlier chance. An excellent stop from Ederson to deny Gianluca Lapadula. What an introduction to international football and South American football Gianluca Lapadula's had in this Copa America. It may well end here at the semi-finals, but the Benevenuto striker has been excellent, turning there, taking another shot on. Second shot off target. Lapadula, a Peruvian mother, and only made his debut for Peru in the build-up to this tournament in the World Cup qualifiers, but has certainly made an impact in the absence of Paulo Guerrero. Richarlison could break through here. Richarlison's still going in the penalty box. That's the shot away. It's deflected. Roberto Tovar just stops play for an injury here to Lapadula, holds his ankle. Certainly been in the wars, Lapadula. Broken nose in the win against Paraguay. Looks in fairly significant pain there, just goes over on his ankle. Again, the pitch here at the Nilton Santos. Under scrutiny. Ordinarily, the question mark's just about whether or not it's particularly useful when passing the ball, but on that occasion just seemed to give way under Gianluca Lapadula, almost causing him an injury. The Peru number 9 is back on his feet now and has avoided anything more serious, but certainly not the condition of a pitch you'd expect at the semi-finals of a Copa America. Which I think is exactly the point Chiche was trying to make after the quarter-final win over Chile. Regardless, his Brazil side lead by a goal to nil here. And for all their dominance in the first half, the first 10 minutes of the second half, Brazil yet to really get going. Peru causing the problems. Free kick into the box, looking for Lapadula. Headed away by Renan Lodgi for a throw on this near side. Without question, the best moment of the game for Peru. Aldo Corso down the line. He gets the ball back, the full-back. Can't get away from the challenge. Casemiro finds Richarlison. Richarlison finds Neymar, and Neymar can scamper away on the counter. Richarlison is brought down there. Just as Brazil were looking to break away And Yoshimar Yotun will pick up the first yellow card of the game. Yotun just taking one for the team there and ensuring Richarlison didn't get away. The switch to something like a 4-3-3 for Peru certainly will leave more space for Brazil. And Richarlison and co, ideal to punish any spaces left. Yotun there ensuring they can't on this occasion. Thiago Silva, here's Danilo, here's Everton, who's been pretty quiet. He's not going to get on the end of that pass from Lucas Paquetá either. Alejandro Dominguez, the president of CONMEBOL, watching on as ever. Turn by Lapadula, space to run into, gets a bit of a break there from Thiago Silva and Peru can come forward. Heavy touch though there by Yotun, and Yotun goes to ground holding his face. Got an arm in the face I think as he tussled with Lucas Paquetá. Just there, Paquetá just trying to shield the ball as he span. Certainly catches Yotun in the face. Peru make their arguments to Roberto Tovar, the referee. It looks as though the Chilean official is going to see it as nothing more than accidental. Free kick to Peru, but nothing else. Lapadula's turn to get a broken nose in the game against Paraguay, and Yoshimar Yotun might have a matching mask for himself after this game. For now, it looks as though it's just some cotton wool up the nostrils. Free kick, floated into the penalty area. Floats all the way through to the back post, and Everton's able to get a foot in. Here's Cueva. Garcia tries to look for the return. Cueva gets there. Cueva just need to open up a crossing chance. They do so, and it's cleared away by Danilo. Neymar presses from the front, and it's cool defending by Alexander Callens. There's Lapadula. It's well played again and looks for the back heel. Just looking for Aldo Corso, but look at the work rate that Lapadula gives for Peru. Works tirelessly without much reward. Here he is again. Spreads the plate for substitute Garcia. Garcia cutting on his right foot, takes a shot, good stop, and the rebound cleared away by Thiago Silva. Well, Peru are certainly making a game of this. Bounces awkwardly in front of Edison. Raciel Garcia just opened up the shot onto his right foot. And Gianluca Lapadula was just sniffing around for that rebound. Lapadula there, you can see, just making that run immediately, just in case there was a second ball, and he's not far away to get there. Thiago Silva had to be alert to that one. And Ricardo Gareca's changes at the break have done the trick. An hour gone here in Rio de Janeiro. Brazil still lead by 1-0. But the wave upon wave of yellow attacks has been stemmed And the Blanquirroja are giving Brazil plenty to think about. Never has the old adage, the next goal is important, been more true. Here's Everton. Everton takes a shot on. It's an easy save for Pedro Galese. Well, perhaps through necessity more than anything else from falling behind, we're now seeing the Peru that we wanted to see ahead of tonight's semi-final. An ambitious, brave Peru that are going at Brazil. Garcia looks for Cueva, but Fred snaps into the challenge. Now it's Brazil's turn to give the ball away cheaply immediately. Garcia. This time he does find Cueva. Cueva, bit of space on this near side for Corso. Corso has to go back, but keeps the ball, and Peña finds Cueva. Cueva, little outside of the boot pass looking for Garcia, and Brazil are able to step in and win the ball. But Chiche's side, far more uncomfortable than they ever were in the first half. It's good covering back there by Peña. And it's calm, as you like, working it out from the back. They got themselves into trouble a few times in the first half, but a very different Peru now. Yotun sidesteps Fred, gets his head up and finds the next pass. Peña. Back into Yotun. There's another good pass, this time Corso. And then Logi comes across the cover, and Corso has to go back to Peña. Here's Tapia. Peña. Corso. Brings Callens into play as Peru edge further forward. Peña. And Fred does enough to win back the ball. Here's Neymar. Challenge quickly comes in, but breaks to Fred, and Fred looks to thread one. He finds Richarlison. Richarlison now in a bit of space, one-on-one with his man, looks to cut it onto his right foot, goes to ground, and absolutely nothing given by Roberto Tobar. Peru come back, go direct, looking for Lapadula. Marquinhos watches it all the way and brings it under control with a deft first touch. There's a ball into Neymar. Neymar in the box, takes the shot on first time and lashes it over the crossbar. Well, Peru can't afford to leave Neymar that kind of space. Maybe just a little wake-up call to remind them of the dangers of Brazil. Corso. Back into Santa Maria. Just leaves it for Peña, who finds Corso, and back into Santa Maria. Corso lets the ball roll under his foot and out for a throw. This was the shot from Raciel Garcia that forced Edison into another save. Everton. Fred, bit of space here for the Manchester United midfielder, hits the shot and it's deflected and behind for a corner. Ball rolled into Fred there, and acres of space in front of him, just inviting him to take that shot. Never scored for Brazil. Not exactly a regular goal scorer for Manchester United either, but fancied his chances there. 25 minutes to go. Corner for Brazil, and Galese comes to the claim unchallenged. Brazil then prepare a change of their own. Everton Ribeiro, the man Chiche's looking to. And whether it will be Everton to come off for Everton Ribeiro. Probably been the quietest of those Brazilian players out there, but certainly the second half we've seen very little of almost all of those players. Richarlison and Neymar still offering an outlet. Casemiro and Fred doing their defensive duties well enough, but we haven't seen a great deal of Lucas Paquetá or Everton. Two candidates likely to be replaced by Everton Ribeiro. Here's Casemiro. To Danilo. Everton. It's well cut out by Raciel Garcia. Well turned away from danger twice. Goes back to Callens. Marcos Lopez just loses his footing there again on this surface. And it goes out for a throw. We may have that change now. Everton Ribeiro still warming up. Cueva trying to get away from the attention of Fred, and just lays it off, but gets the ball back now in a bit more space. Cueva. Raciel Garcia brings it over halfway, looking for options further ahead. Finds Cueva. First touch is a little heavy. Casemiro can step in and win the ball. Casemiro, nice turn, finds Neymar. Neymar takes a little kick there and advantage is played. Renan Lodji brings it forward. Richarlison. It looks as though play will be stopped for that foul on Neymar as he stayed down. The first half was all about the Brazilian tricks and flicks, and this second half so far has been a little bit more Chiche Brazil in terms of just trying to stifle Peru and see this one. We saw against Chile in the quarter-finals, dominant first half, unable to find the goal until just after the break. And then Gabriel Jesus' red card immediately after that put them on the back foot, but they were still able just to grind out that result. And with 20 minutes remaining here, they've still got that lead they got from the first half. And they're forcing Peru to come forward. Everton replaced as expected by Everton Ribeiro. Everton Ribeiro, who scored one of those late goals in the 4-0 win over Peru in the group stage. His only goal for the national team. Can Everton Ribeiro seal victory for Brazil here? Lucas Paquetá gets away there from Alexander Callens, sets off looking for the return, but Everton Ribeiro goes back to Danilo. Thiago Silva steps out nicely from the back. Classy stuff from the veteran centre-back. Neymar picks it up, floats this one behind for Richarlison. Richarlison's there, little shove. Richarlison goes to ground and looks to the referee. Roberto Tobar clearly says, yes, there was a coming together, there's absolutely nothing in it, and gives a corner. But Richarlison feels he should be having a penalty. Wonderful pass from Neymar, clipped in behind. Aldo Corso steps across. Contact there And Richarlison feels it should be a penalty, and so does Chiche. Well, it'll only be a corner for Brazil. Neymar takes it, headed away. Danilo back to Thiago Silva. And all the way back to Ederson. Ederson's long kick downfield, good release for Richarlison again. He again goes to ground, no appeal on this occasion as he couldn't quite cut the ball back to Neymar. Everton Ribeiro carries out the defensive duties from the front, prevents Peru from clearing their lines, gives away a throw. Casemiro. Everton Ribeiro keeps the ball alive, goes back. Danilo picks it up. Thiago Silva. This ball into Everton Ribeiro, and the challenge quickly in on the substitute. Peru can't keep the ball, find a way forward, but Danilo gifts it back to them. Raciel Garcia has been very lively since coming off the bench. Peña back into Garcia, back to Peña. Just far more options around there. It's a nice little turn inside by Yotun. But that's the difference. There's now players around there. You can play those little layoffs too, little one-touch passes. Garcia linking up with Cueva, with Yotun, with Peña. Those passing lanes just simply weren't there in the first half. Gulf between Lapadula and the rest of the side was at times 30, 40 yards. Now there's pivots of which to work off, and Peru have themselves a corner. Yotun to take. In at the near post. Ederson didn't get there, but it was headed away. Cueva flicks it back out to Yotun. Back to Cueva. Cueva into the penalty area. Ederson comes and Ederson claims. It's a very good claim as well for the Man City keeper. Rises above Aldo Corso under pressure and takes the ball cleanly. Exactly what Brazil needed. That's the last action of the game for Aldo Corso. On in his place, it's the youngster Gilmar Lora, 20 years of age, and very talented fullback for Sporting Cristal. Really impressed in this year's Copa Libertadores, despite Sporting Cristal going out in the group stages. At 20 years old, won very much for the future. Only made his debut in the quarter-finals late on against Paraguay. But is expected to be a mainstay in the Peru lineup for a while. Garcia lays it off to Yotun. Garcia back to Yotun. Tapia's there just to make up for Yotun's non-existent first touch. Tapia spreads it to the substitute, Lora. And the youngster gets the ball back. Lora still going, gets the better there of Renan Lodge. Lora still going and goes to ground. Nothing given against Fred. Brazil win the ball back. Richarlison. And the ball finds its way to Neymar. Neymar finds Danilo. This is the threat that Brazil carry when they do get the ball and can flood yellow shirts forward quickly. Neymar with a step over, past one, and eventually the challenge comes in, and Neymar again left them a heap on the floor. Peru can't believe it on this occasion. Little step over, through the legs there. And then another nice little touch before Callens comes in and puts an end to the fun and games. Well, Neymar, at times in this Copa America, has been absolutely unplayable. He just seems to be playing with such a freedom. Despite being the figurehead for this Brazil side, the player that they look to, wearing that famous number 10 shirt, still just playing as if he was having a kick around with his mates. Neymar with the free kick headed away. Certainly been a far more competitive second half. Lapadula is offside as he challenges for that header. Just a fraction early there, Gianluca Lapadula, as he challenged with Thiago Silva. Well hit pass out onto that far side for Everton Ribeiro. Everton Ribeiro up against Marcos Lopez. Goes back, gets the ball again. Lays it off for Casemiro. Here's Fred. Fred. Richarlison. Renan Lodge on the overlap and uses him. Renan Lodge crosses. A cross which is claimed under no pressure from Pedro Galese. No pressure, but the Peru goalkeeper backpedaling just to make sure the cross itself didn't drop into his goal. A little over 10 minutes remaining here in Rio de Janeiro. And quite the different semi-final than it looked as though we were going to have at half-time, when it could have been all over already. And if you wondered at that point, if the momentum stayed the same, how long it would take for Brazil to wrap this up. As it is, with 10 minutes to go, the game very much in the balance. Garcia with a good first touch, spins away, finds Cueva. Cueva back to Yotun. Yotun again, just looking to create something on that left foot of his, clips it onto that far side for Garcia, gets the ball back, lays it off for Cueva. Brazil doing well drilled as ever to try and force Peru away, but breaks nicely for them. Make their way to the edge of the box and could get an opportunity to cross. Garcia goes back to Lopez. Yotun. And Yotun is shoved to the ground by Lucas Paquetá and wins a free kick in a good position. And immediately, Santa Maria, Callens make their way forward. Paquetá just catching the heels of Yotun. Well, Christian Cueva has played his last. He's off for Santiago Ormeño. So striker coming on. Ormeño, born in Mexico. Free kick comes in, header. Ederson didn't get there. And I think it was Alexander Callens who did. And if he could have just directed that on target, Peru would be level. Wonderful delivery. Ederson doesn't cover himself in glory there. comes to the edge of his 6-yard box, no way near it. Oof, when Peru maybe could be level. Callens just flicks it wide of the post. Ormeño on though for the final stages of this one to partner Lapadula. Neymar again looking for a free kick, gets back to his feet with a rueful smile after it not being given. For all of Neymar's other obvious qualities, he's very, very good at helping Brazil see out victories, whether it's by picking up free kicks or being able to just run the ball away when he gets a bit of space. He hasn't got the ball now, though. It's Peru coming forward once more. Ormeño just looks to try and find Laura on that overlap down the right. Brazil taking their time over this throw as they prepare a triple change. Vinicius Junior, Fabinho, Eder Militao all getting ready to come on. Neymar away from two, goes down, and this time he does get a free kick, much to the anger of the Peruvian players. We wait for that free kick. I think we'll see that triple change from Brazil now. Richarlison will be making way. Richarlison for Vinicius Junior. Also see there Fred coming off for Fabinho. Immediately in conference with Casemiro, the two of them will just sit there protecting the back four, looking to see this one out. Still some discussions over the free kick, and Brazil are able to take ample time over these throws. The last thing Peru want to be wasting any further time. Renan Lodgi, the other man to come off, Eder Militao on in his place to bolster that back four. Certainly will be able to help with any crosses into the box towards Lapadula or Ormeño. Vinicius straight into the action, goes into the box, and it's a good covering challenge and falls to Neymar. Neymar shoots, deflected across the face of goal, and thankfully away for Peru. For a moment looked as though it was going to fall nicely for Lucas Paquetá. 5 minutes remain here in Rio de Janeiro. Peña. Here's Laura. Crossfield ball looking for Garcia, but it's poor pass that allows Danilo just to nod it back to Ederson and waste a few more valuable seconds. Really didn't think we'd be in the kind of position where we were talking about Brazil wasting valuable seconds with just a 1-goal lead. When you looked at the game at half-time. But here we are, and credit to Peru for that. Ezequiel Garcia keeps that in and hammers it upfield towards Ormeño. He can't get there. Lucas Paquetá finds Everton Ribeiro. Brazil would happily just keep the ball now and see this one out. Nice touch from Peña, finds Ormeño. Ormeño back to Yotunu, fires this one across to Lapadula. Lapadula has Lora with him, instead drops it off looking for Peña, who does well to win the ball back and almost threads it through for Lapadula. Eder Militao does enough. Fabinho gets rid of it under pressure, finds Lucas Paquetá, and Everton Ribeiro can bring it away. And Everton Ribeiro can fire the ball downfield to Neymar. Neymar. Santa Maria comes across and stops Neymar, finding Vinicius Junior. Well, Ricardo Gareca's line up to start this game, the switch to the back five might not have worked, but his changes at half-time very much have. Neymar trying to make his way into the box. Good cover by Tapia. Finds its way back to Neymar, who's got 3 or 4 shirts around him and is eventually bundled out of play. No free kick, it's going to be a throw to Peru. Gelese finds Gilma Lora. Lora. Good pass forward, and Lora's caught late there, and it's going to be a yellow card. Peru running out of time, but at the moment, as Chile found out in the quarterfinals, easier said than done to find a way through Brazil, even when you're seeing plenty of possession. Vinicius Junior goes in the book for Brazil, and Renato Tapia is replaced by Martin Tavera. Another Peruvian youngster with a bright future ahead of him. Also plays this football for Sporting Cristal, like Lora. And like Lora, really impressed in this year's Copa Libertadores. A wonderful pass through the ball from deep. Another yellow card comes out, I think this time to Marcos Lopez, as we're into the final minute of the game. Marcos Lopez shown yellow for that. Rather strong challenge on Lucas Paquetá. Brazil once again are being able just to run this one down. Experts at doing so. And as Lucas Paquetá stays down, still haven't got anyone on the pitch to give him attention. Roberto Tobar beckoning the Brazilian physios on as we tick over into stoppage time. Five minutes of stoppage time that we're into already. And Lucas Paquetá is still down, getting attention. Peru will just be desperate to get on with things. This is the decisive moment. Such a costly error by Christian Ramos, giving the ball to Richarlison and then being sucked into the ball there with Neymar. Gets a bit of luck there with the second, cuts the ball back, and Lucas Paquetá delivers the finish that, as things stand, fires Brazil into Saturday's final. Well, Brazil will take the opportunity, this lengthy delay, to make another change with Douglas Luiz to come on. Presumably that substitution was being lined up for Lucas Paquetá, even though the physio there were just giving the thumbs up. But the introduction of Douglas Luiz, as we see now, would be a defensive one, just to try and see this one out. The Aston Villa defender just joining Casemiro and Fabinho to sit in there. But another influential performance from Lucas Paquetá. The winning goal in the quarter-final, and a 1-0 win over Chile. And as things stand, the only goal here in the semi-final against Peru. Is there to be some late drama here in Rio de Janeiro? Peru may feel they deserve it on their second-half performance. Here's Lapadula. And Lapadula is judged to have caught Eder Militao in the face there. Well, there is contact, but it's absolutely inadvertent. Roberto Tobar gives the free kick. Brazil can waste further minutes, and in truth, in this injury time period, we've probably actually only had about 15 seconds of the ball being in play, and yet here we are with only 90 seconds of the allotted 5 officially remaining. Surely Roberto Tobar will add a couple more onto that, but Peru very much running out of time. Neymar, and the free kick this time goes against Brazil, fortunately for Peru. Gareca's boys just need to get the ball going here and get forward. They leave it for Pedro Galese. It's going to go route 1. Lapadula and Ormeño, the two strikers up there now, happy to challenge these kind of balls. Ormeño does so, but it baits for Brazil. Neymar, Peña loses out there. Neymar with a little Rabona through for Vinicius Junior. Vinicius cuts inside, looks back for Neymar, who flicks the ball up and then says he's being held, but nothing given. And if anything shows the relaxed mindset of Neymar, it's when his side are leading 1-0 deep in stoppage time during an uncomfortable second half, and he pulls off this. Absolutely delightful. Marcos Lopez. Garcia can't get away from Everton Ribeiro. And maybe a chance here. Thiago Silva across the cover, and well, it's naive from Sergio Peña. Stretches in, knew he was going to get there second, catches Thiago Silva, and if it was naive from Sergio Peña, there's all the experience of Thiago Silva, clearly realising he's rolled off the pitch, and in his apparent agony manages to roll himself back on into the pitch. We've had well over our 5 minutes of added time. Brazil once again look to have done enough. Ederson hits it long downfield. Vinicius, Fabinho will gladly take a throw, but it doesn't go his way. But instead, Roberto Tobar blows for full time. The Chilean official decided not to add a great deal more time, and there it is. Brazil 1, Peru 0. Lucas Paquetá's first half goal is enough to book Peru back into the Copa America final. Argentina or Colombia.